What's good, fam? So today we're gonna be getting into Poetic Flacco, breaking down how Hernandez Govan got a not guilty verdict as being a mastermind of the Young Dolph hit. Let's get into it. Before we start, Frida Bros, Roller J, let's get into it, man.
What the circumstances were that led to a not guilty verdict. We're also going to explain the possibility of CMG and Yo Gotti potentially being charged in the future. We're also going to break down why a not guilty verdict was the worst possible option for this dude, because being in jail and being incarcerated is a whole lot safer than him being a free man.
Hey, go grab all your paperwork, sit down and study, get it together so you can learn how jail be preserving a lot of these dudes and saving a lot of their life, man. You know what I'm saying? I think in a case this high profile, we're going to let Flacco float, but I think in a case this high profile with so much emotion and so many eyes on this case, it definitely going to be a little tough for him to move around as a free man, especially if he stay in Memphis. But let's let Flacco kick his shit. I'm sorry, I ain't going to keep pausing.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count 2 of the indictment.
All bullshit aside, if you ever had to stand there and wait for them people to say if you was guilty or not guilty, whether you was guilty or not, it definitely brings about that type of emotion. And whatever he was facing, yeah.
Ma'am.
Court in session.
Ma'am. Ms. Johnson, is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes, sir.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
White boy, like, get the fuck off me, man. Get off me, dude.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict? Yes. Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me sidetrack y'all with a little story right quick. Let me say this, right? I was sitting in the stands at a murder trial, and I seen at the minimum 4 witnesses take the stand and was like, him right there, him, that guy, he did it. I watched him do it. And the paid attorney, Doug Woods, if y'all ever heard of him, Doug Woods, like 60, 70,000. This nigga said, oh, and you, what was you doing back there at 2 in the morning? Oh, you was buying drugs? Discredit him. Oh, what you was doing? Oh, you on probation? What charges you got? Oh, you violated probation? You keep catching dirties? Discredit him as a witness. Pay attorneys, y'all. If you're going to be outside, the first thing you should do is stack some money for a paid attorney. Not chain, not car, not watch. Not the little bitches, not the clothes. Put you 50, 60 bands up and then go outside and be whatever you want to be.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you for your service this week.
This trial was never about guilty or not guilty. We knew the answer to that going into this trial. The question was, can you prove he's guilty? Do you have enough to prove he's guilty? And when you look at exactly,
it's not to prove he's guilty. Do you have enough to prove he's guilty so we could bring in these other parties and charge these other people?
how this Young Dolph murder was set up, yo, they was very strategic. They were not on the phones discussing this. They weren't discussing this through text messages. This was literally, hey, bro, come to the spot. Yo, we got a bag on his head.
Man, dude said on the stand, Cornelius said on the stand out his own mouth, when I met Jook, as soon as I walked in, he told me we not doing no talk around the phones. We had to take the phones outside. Them dudes was on another level. Take the phones outside, leave them outside, then come in, we could talk about this shit.
And the message went out in the streets, and they weren't tapping in or checking up with nobody, bro. Yo, if you collect the bag, you collect the bag. But we not tapping in with nobody to make sure a murder take place.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how this took place. So there was no paper trail. There was no communication trail to lock in Hernandez Govan. All you really had was the testimony from the actual shooters and the killers.
Testimony from the shooter who, once you show that he's able to be discredited. Oh yeah, you locked up. You just trying to say anything you can to get some time taken off. You trying to say anything you can to get any type of help from the government. You could be saying this just because you're mad at this person. You want this person arrested with you. All that counts in discrediting the witness, especially if the witness is a street person. You know what I'm saying?
Which, when you put somebody who committed a murder on the stand, their credibility is always going to be called into question.
Exactly.
All right. Now, seeing Hernandez Govan give us those crocodile tears, to me, was something to watch, right? It was something to behold, bruh. People are sociopaths, homie. After the not guilty verdict, this man looked that camera in his eyes, and he was cosplaying a father of four who had never committed a crime in his life. Look how cold Hernandez Govan played it after the not guilty verdict.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative.
I just want to say thank you to my attorneys, Manny.
First though, this dude was just selling pills. How the fuck he afford 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? How many attorneys he got? How he afford all this lawyer coverage? How did he afford all this lawyer coverage, man?
Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, my private investigators, everybody for helping me. I didn't have the resources to necessarily,
I'm calling bullshit. I'm telling you, some CMG money done flew down to that court building and made sure this nigga go free. Now, if PRE niggas don't whack him, don't be surprised if some CMG niggas whack him, just to make sure all loose ends have been tied up, because it's no way possible. The fucking shooter himself is telling you, yo, I didn't know none of these guys. I only met them through him, and he put me in contact with the people who want this man dead. That's the reason we did it. Now, let's let Flacco finish. I don't want to
cover everything, and Manny still helped me, and he knew I was innocent. Everybody around me knew I was innocent. I just want to say thank you to the jurors for getting this right and getting my life.
Man, thank whoever paid them jurors, whoever reached out to their family and let them know you better say not guilty. I'm just talking shit. This all allegedly. This is alleged.
Like that.
And that's the main thing. What was it like during the trial? At what point did you think, hey, wait a minute, I think I have a chance?
Well, I knew I had a chance from the beginning because I knew in my heart I was innocent.
With the straight face. Look at the lady face next to him. She like, man, he better pay us good. We want our money right now. Hey, Doug Woods asked my ass for that money before he left the court. Nigga, I didn't give you the first 30,000. What the fuck make you think I got 20 more, 30 more thousand on me? Look at her face. Yeah, he was guilty. Please tell it all.
And so it was.
Hey, on my mother, if you was standing in front of the police and you was telling them whatever you had to tell them to get away, and she was next to you making those faces, I guarantee you going to jail. You're going to jail, buddy.
Times during the trial, of course, you get some frustrations and stuff here and there, but overall, I knew my innocence would prevail.
What I realized, especially watching this trial or even watching a law and crime interview, Hernandez Govan, I realized that a lot of us know a lot more about this case than even like the professionals.
That we do, because from day one, we've been watching, and YouTube has become bigger than the news. You feel me? So yeah, I could testify to that.
Like us who've been covering or watching this case or been in the weeds of this for about 4 to 5 years now, we understand this trial at a level that I don't even feel like the professionals understand. Like, for example,
What?
Yo, they gave the motivating factor. They attributed Hernandez Govan motivating factor to be involved in this Young Dolph murder.
What?
To, yo, he wanted the bag, or, yo, he was connected to CMG for music opportunities. Yeah, that's it. But no, like Hernandez Govan considered J Money and D Money like his nephews.
So, a little bit of history. For all my real Dolph fans, y'all remember back in the day, Dolph used to have a little nigga with him named J Money. That was his man. J Money was a part of a gang, and he was like the top dog in his gang. He was the shot caller. So, somewhere, somehow, J Money gets smoked, and then a couple years down the line, I guess Dolph wound up signing the guy who smoked J Money, which caused all the J Money homies that was cool with Dolph to split off. So they went and signed with CMG. Now, if you know anything about the rap game and you saying how Gucci kept signing all these people from Memphis, he was signing people from Memphis that directly beefed with the people that were signed with CMG. So it was still a little underlying war between Gucci and Yo Gotti that people don't talk about. We'll get to that another time.
That was the number one motivating factor, but it wasn't brought up in court. Yo, Hernandez Govan is over at J Money and D Money's mama house eating gumbo. They've been like neighbors for years. J Money, obviously, we know, was a rapper from Memphis. He was popping. He was with Chief Keef. He was rolling around, but he was also like Young Dolph's mentee.
So listen what I'm saying. Let's say all is right. Let's play devil advocate a little bit here. Let's say the nigga did smoke J Money and Dolph did sign him. Y'all was that mad that y'all waited all these years just to kill him for signing somebody else? Why y'all didn't kill the nigga that killed J Money? Why y'all was so mad at Dolph to the point where y'all went and signed to his opposing label that's already had multiple attempts on his life? And then y'all want to kill him yourself like he the one who shot J Money. I never understood that.
Young Dolph's right hand. J Money and Young Dolph was really close up until his death. Now, when J Money passed away, Young Dolph became a CEO, and Young Dolph was forced to do business with people who ain't really get along with, J Money folks, right? Or D Money, J Money's little brother, or Trula Mafia. Dolph signed Big Unc. Big Unc was supposedly responsible for the death of D Money.
So again, if Dolph signed Big Unc, why y'all ain't just holler at Big Unc about it? Why y'all wait all these years to take out Dolph? So I feel what you saying, Flacco, but I can't give you that one. Even if they already had it in their mind that they had a problem with Dolph, they never tried to make a move on it themselves. Even though other CMG people have tried to make a move on Dolph, like those guys didn't. They didn't because they didn't have the money. It take money to go to war, my nigga. And once they realized that they could get paid for it, take out Dolph, they had some more money to beef with the other niggas if they get away with it. It was a go. So I give you 50-50 on that one. Because, yeah, I give you 50-50 on it.
J Money's little brother. So when Young Dolph signed Big Unc, D Money's mama is all on Facebook, all on Twitter, cussing out Young Dolph. The streets is talking, songs is being made, calling Young Dolph flawed. And that's when Trula Mafia turned against Young Dolph. And that's when Trula Mafia had their own motivating factor to take out Young Dolph.
So, J Money was the leader of Trula Mafia. So I'm guessing if the leader of the gang mother is telling us, fuck that nigga, go step on him, and we got real loyalty and love for J Money, then we gonna go how Mom Dukes feels. She like moms to us too. Again, I can understand saying fuck Dolph, but yo, we so mad at Dolph, we gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? That was just Dolph. I just can't see that one.
They weren't just riding around hunting for CMG. No, they were riding around hunting for themselves as well.
Okay.
So when we understand this case at a micro level, that I don't even feel like investigators or detectives understood this case.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you.
I'm sorry if you already answered, but when you heard those 5 words, you are free to go. Just that reaction.
You want to know how I felt?
Absolutely.
If you want to know how I feel, go murder somebody and stand trial for a dumbass, and then see how I feel when you get found not guilty. What kind of dumbass question?
It's hard to explain the feeling of knowing you got your life back, and it's one of the best feelings I ever experienced, and I'm just happy to be free.
How much of a weight is this, lifted off of your shoulders?
Hold up. For everybody that made it this far, so far, hit the like button for me, hit the share button, drop a comment for sure. Talk all you want. I'm going to respond to them. We're going to keep it going.
After hearing not guilty or not guilty.
It's a huge weight, I was fighting more so for my son. I have an autistic son, so that's what my fight was mainly for.
I can't believe it, man. All that ranting we did the last 4 years.
Hey, motherfuckers was putting the play together. Pieces of the puzzle. They was snatching shit from here, putting it over here. They was freeze framing it. Man, y'all wasn't wrong. Y'all wasn't wrong, Flacco. Y'all wasn't wrong. That money talk, though. That money talk. That money talk, man. That's all I'm going to say.
And he still beat it? God damn. Now, let's go over to a courtroom reporter who's been following this case just as long as probably I've been following this case. And he breaks down and he explains exactly what he thinks the contributing factors were that led to this not guilty verdict.
The longer that the jury deliberates, the better it is for your client. Mm-hmm. They're discussing certain things, but this was a very limited amount of information, very limited jury verdict form that they had to consider, essentially 3 charges, all wrapped around the same thing. So it wasn't a lot of complexity there.
So what he just said, I'm not going to keep pausing it, but I'm cooking, so, you know what I'm saying? Let me cook. 3 charges all wrapped around the same thing. It's like they was trying to trump the charges. So either way, no matter which one, if we could get him to just get on one, it's still the same thing. So it's like carrying a pistol without a license, carrying a pistol outside a place of business, carrying a pistol outside a residence, and then unlawful possession of ammunition. So we're going to hit you with the ammo charge, but any one of these 3 is still carrying a pistol without a license. So it's just how they do it.
It was really about, did they believe the state's main witness or did they not believe it? And that's what it came down to.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like in a case like this, there's not that much physical evidence to deal with at all, right?
That's correct.
The state was never...
They had, okay, they didn't have the guns. They did not have the guns. They did not have the clothes. But what I have learned is once they have certain videos, they don't need all that shit. They got multiple videos. They even got the damn car that the guy slid in, DNA all in it. So I don't understand what more evidence they needed.
We're alleging that Govan was the man who pulled the trigger.
Right.
So his argument is, why are you believing what...
Correct. The entire case is credibility of what he says, Cornelia says, as opposed to, well, we don't have to say anything as the defense, but do you believe the state's main witness? A young man who has a lot to gain or lose based upon his testimony, and not just this trial, but prior trials, who's facing the same charges, who was actually admitted to be the gunman, the one with the most powerful weapon. And so when you deal with that, and then a lack of true evidence, no concrete text messages to show, yes, we got him, or this is the plan, or we're here.
I mean, look. Y'all motherfuckers break. This is why I say it was some big boy money involved. Because they break down and decode everything they come across. They read a text message after Dolph got killed that was sent from Cornelius to Govan or Juk. I forget exactly which one. The text message was sent to Juk, and it said, yeah, big homie, I'm Lil C, Govan, man, that you met last time. I just finished my song. I want to get up with you so you can hear it. Now, the street part of me say, nigga, I'm talking about a motherfucking song, and that's why I'm trying to link up with the OG, because he connected with CMG. I'm trying to get my music on. But the street part of me also know that's cold. You know what I'm saying? And fuck it. You know, it is what it is.
Here, nothing, no content.
They even admitted in court that Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith, the two killers, that they had no contact with Hernandez Govan for weeks before they went and killed young Dolph, because there was no conversation needed to be had. The bag was put up. We got 100,000.
Was understood. Don't gotta be explained. we don't already tried to get them twice. Once in LA, once in North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever. Then it was a third time somewhere else. And then we done already told you that, and they said in the trial that they tried to get Paper Route Wu, tried to shoot him up. He had a shootout with him. Paper Route Wu was moving right. When he walked out the house, the nigga said, man, I went through the slide on Wu, but as soon as he came out the house, he had his gun in his hand already. You know what I'm saying? So Wu was moving right. But if they already trying to slide on other members, it kind of defeats they was just riding around for themselves. They was riding around for themselves, but they was hunting for CMG. There's plenty of people, other neighborhoods in Memphis, that they could have went and robbed somebody or did whatever they had to do if they was just dead fucked up for money. But the fact that they went looking for PRE artists, especially the ones that was named on the list that had the hits on their head, they was doing that for that money.
1,000 on Dolph. Whoever collects it first, come at us. Hit us up. Right? But, Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson actually contacted Big Jook after the murder before they contacted Hernandez Govan. So if we ain't talked for months before the day y'all murder young Dolph, and we ain't really talk afterwards, y'all got call logs of us going back and forth. But here's the mistake, though. Justin Johnson admitted in court that Hernandez Govan,
not Justin, Cornelius admitted in court that Hernandez used to sell them pills. Okay, think about this. Two things happened. This is why they reached out to Big Jook before they reached out to Govan. First off, they tried to cut the middleman out. All right, cool. We done been around Jook this long. I've seen him this many times. I got his direct number. Rather than calling Govan and having to get him to 10,000, because each one of them was supposed to get him 10,000. They would got 40,000 a piece. He was gonna make 20,000. Instead of us giving him the money, we're gonna try to overjump him and go to Jook. That's one thing that could have happened. Second thing that could have happened is this. The trap house that they trap out of is right across the street from Govan's actual residence. So it's not always a need to call him. The dude even said after the shit happened when we got shot, I went around back of Govan house and I was telling him, it's me, bro, don't shoot, because I didn't want him to shoot me because he got cameras all on his house and he didn't know who I was. So that lets you know right there, they did not always have to call Govan to be in contact with him.
sold him pills, right? He was his drug dealer. So the calls that they were having, the back and forth, that could just be attributed to Cornelius Smith wanting pills.
It could. It could. Look, I don't know who be putting these cases together, but these niggas with money, they be get like, man. Okay. You had niggas literally sitting on stand talking about such and such killed Nut, and the nigga that paid for it right here, man, ain't pay that shit no attention the whole trial. They got way away from that shit, start talking about some other shit and some whole other shit, and it just money, man. The money make that shit move different.
It was hard to really pin them down, especially when there's no community text messages or calls weeks before the murder, for weeks, and the day after murder, they ain't communicate. So to them bring him to court on evidence this week, to me, is just insane and it's crazy, right? But he would also touch on
it's not
the possibility.
The way these people work. See, I ain't paying attention if his shit was he was found not guilty. But I want to say this. Getting too hot.
Ability that other people could be indicted.
The only thing that I understand.
Now that they done brought him to court with that weak evidence and they done threw everybody else's name in the court, Now that shit is on transcript. So if they ever do decide to make another move, they gonna come back and bring this shit up. Like, okay, well, when we tried Mr. Such and Such, you got on the stand and you said ABC XYZ. So yeah, that's how they work.
So I understand that state to have produced to the jury for them to consider were you've got multiple phone calls. And for Mr. Govan to be the admitted dealer of the state's main witness of supplying pills and all those things, that would not be a surprise if you've got multiple contacts, they live in the same neighborhood. You can't just go off of, well, I called this person a ton of times to prove a conspiracy case. That's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah and no, because a lot of niggas done not had niggas' phone numbers. Just be on the block, seen in a building a nigga be in or be back, and they get pulled into conspiracy shit. So again, you know, everybody got their own thoughts on the situation. My shit mainly feel like it was some money involved that made this shit go the way it went.
Stretch.
Yeah. So what happens now then?
Well, I think, as the state somewhat alluded to in their closing argument yesterday, and someone in the way of the proof through one of the law enforcement witnesses, are there additional parties who could be complicit in the conspiracy? I don't know if that's the case. We heard Mr. Mims' name mentioned a lot, but he's now deceased. So obviously nothing.
Mr. Mims is Juke, whatever his name is, Big Juke, I think. And that is Yo Gotti's older brother, the one who was meeting with Hernandez and the rest of them. So that right there is an attachment to Yo Gotti to bring Yo Gotti into the situation.
That can come of that. It just, I think they need to take a step back and probably regroup and see if the investigation needs to go anywhere or if it just rests there. They do have at least two of the individuals, the most complicit, the actual shooters, accepting responsibility in one case and being found guilty in the other case.
Yes. Do you think this makes it more or less likely that they're going to be able to go after, higher up parties?
Less likely.
That's where the money come in at. They can't even say his name. They want to say Yo Gotti so bad, but they can't even say his name. They saying higher up parties. Say his name. The fuck?
I mean, you would be putting the state's main witness on now for a third or fourth or fifth trial. And every single time that he goes and gets on the stand, the hope as a defense attorney is his testimony changing. And bit by bit, piece by piece, it's just like he becomes a weathered person at that point. I mean, that's a taxing thing to be on.
No, don't try to use that. Don't try to use that. If his ass telling the truth, he gonna be able to say that shit 1,000 times. And I'm sure he going over that shit 1,000,000 times sitting in the cell because he don't got shit to do but sit there and think about it. So we not gonna give out that type of pass, man. You get no access with that.
Understand multiple trials for multiple hours at a time and have to remember and be consistent with everything.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, it was a pretty quick trial. We were to come to this conclusion within just 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Seems like the jury knew kind of what they were going to come to.
Well, I don't know if that's the case that they knew. I mean, obviously, from a human perspective,
right. They decided quickly.
Exactly. I mean, it was one of those things that they probably had to go back into the jury deliberation room and say, do we believe what he said, the state's main witness? Forget what the girlfriend said for the most part. Law enforcement's testimony wasn't really helpful whatsoever.
I mean, what
the autopsy, it was what it was. But does this young man's testimony line up? And do we have enough? And what a lot of people fail to remember is that it's not just beyond a reasonable doubt. It is
See, from the fans' point of view, if you've been watching this shit since the day it happened on YouTube, all these channels that done talked about it, Paperwork, 09 TV, AK-47, all these people that done talked about this and went into in-depth and detail, hearing what he's saying is literally just, it's the other piece to the puzzle. It ain't sounding no bit made up to us. But I'm not the jury, so I understand.
Beyond a reasonable doubt for a criminal case. But in our jury instructions, as Judge Johnson Mitchell read to the jury yesterday, it requires a moral certainty. And that level of certainty that you would exercise in your most important affairs, where to put a child, a sick parent, where to move.
Hey, but look, that's my time right there, because bruh just rapping. Y'all can slide over to Poetic Flacco, check out the rest of that. Rest in peace to Flipper, man. Yeah, Mo. Free the bros. Catch me next time.